On today's episode of Setting the Pace, Facci and I are going to be diving into a fun segment we love to do, stock up, stock down, or stock in the middle, and these are all overreactions after game one of the preseason. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you're listening on the audio side, please subscribe to our show wherever you get your podcast, and leave us a 5-star rating. Now, let's get to the show. What is up, Pacer Nation? Welcome back to another episode here of your go-to Pacers podcast, Setting the Pace. I'm your host, Alex Goldman. I'm joined today by my lovely, wonderful, awesome, great friend and co-host, Michael J. Facci. Facci, how was that intro for you?
What an intro. Appreciate that. Hey, that's such kind words. And, I think we got some kind words today for some Pacers and some, maybe a little bit of room for improvement. So, Alex, it's something that we haven't done in a little bit. But tell the folks what we're doing today.
So we're going to give our instant reactions to preseason game number 1 and talk a little stock up, stock down, or maybe stock the same for your Indiana Pacers. And we're just going to go from the top to the bottom. So let's start with the point guard, Andrew Nembhard. Facci, stock up or stock down?
I might say stock the same. I might say staying the same.
I'll go stock up. The reason why, point guard injuries.
Sure. Actually, that's a great point. Sometimes the best guy is the guy that's available. So I think that's definitely important. I felt like for Nembhard, it's not going to happen overnight. Like we said this before, but like it needs to be put in perspective. He's not going to become Tyrese Haliburton. This isn't like a college offense where you just plug in the next quarterback and all of a sudden that guy rips off like a huge season. For Nembhard, he's going to improve. But no, he might not be leading the league in assists and becoming the most clutch player in the NBA and being an all-NBA type, talent. He's going to improve as time goes on. And I think for 11 minutes in a preseason game, it was hard to really grasp that. But the Pacers did look very good while he was out, and that's got to be worth something.
All right, Bennedict Mathurin, stock up, stock down, or stock in the middle?
I
say stock in the middle.
Up. Yeah, okay. All right. Well,
okay.
Yeah, I would just say, for Mathurin, I felt like he shot the ball well. He was defending on Anthony Edwards. I like that. He's never been, worried to take that type of assignment. He was a plus 14 with the group, but obviously that's the starters. He rebounded well. He hit a block. I felt like you could make an argument that it's between stock in the middle to stock up, but hey, I don't want to be too stingy on this group, so I'm going to stick with the stock up.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could say stock up just because he looked like he belonged on the court for
the
entirety of the game. So I just kind of felt like it was more stock in the middle because he didn't do anything over the top that made me stand out. Whoa, Mathurin, next step, whatever. I felt like, yeah, it was good Mathurin stuff. That was the version of good Mathurin we've seen before as a starter. So that is why I put him there. Now let's keep it moving to our small forward, Aaron Nesmith. Would you give him a stock up, stock down, or stock in the middle?
I'll say stock up. I felt like, Nesmith is that type of guy that I feel like when Nesmith first got here, he was very reliant on Tyrese Haliburton. I remember when Haliburton was out, Nesmith's numbers took a hit. That's something we've been keeping an eye on and be like, okay, how is he going to be without Haliburton? I felt like tonight he was good. The other night he was good. 5 field goal attempts. He goes 2 of 4 from 3, 3 of 5 from the field overall. Just, he's going to bring it defensively. I felt like Aaron Nesmith is, a low maintenance type player that can take the step forward offensively.
Yeah, I mean, he took an elbow to the face from Rudy Gobert.
And the ball came down to hit him on the face, too, which was just that's like insult to injury right there. And of course, it's Rudy Gobert. Come on. Rudy is just that guy that just rubs everybody wrong. Whether it was Turner in Indiana having some beef with him before, of course, it's Rudy Gobert.
Him and Nembhard last year. I mean, come on.
Yep, exactly.
Nobody likes Rudy Gobert, and they were talking about this on the Minnesota broadcast, how he shaved his head, and now he's got a new look, and I'm like, who cares? Rudy Gobert sucks. No, he doesn't suck. He's a good player. He just sucks as somebody that you watch play basketball. But no, I'll say Nesmith is a stock up just because I thought he shot the ball well. I thought that this is a guy that could really blossom more. I saw people, especially our good friend Young Simba, saying what he saw from the first half takeaways was extend Aaron Nesmith. That's the biggest thing. And I tweeted out, I hope Aaron Nesmith is a Pacer for life because he just embodies what the Pacer Nation is all about and what the Pacers ecosystem is all about. So I'm a big guy, a big fan of Aaron Nesmith. I'm just one of those Nesmith guys. I love him so much. Him and Nembhard together, they're like a package deal.
They are. It just feels right. Like those two, like you just know what you're going to get out of them. You're going to get that defensive effort every single night, and I feel like both players, it's awesome to like see them grow. Both kind of similar to being, not to say counted out, but Nesmith I feel like was counted out in Boston. Needed a fresh start. Nembhard, a second round pick. We've seen them blossom in front of us, and it still feels like their best basketball is ahead of them. So definitely stock up for an agreement for both of us.
All right, I think his stock is through the roof, no doubt about it. It's the man that needed to be called or the Minnesota Police or Fire Department had to be called because he was so hot
Spicy.
in the arena. That was a terrible lead up to that. I'm sorry, totally butchered that. I was gonna bring that joke up on the last episode, and I just didn't do it. But I did not land it on this one, so I just But Pascal Siakam, he's got to stock up. Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, look, the man was indeed living up to the Spicy P nickname tonight. I felt like he had it go. That three ball was wet. It was dripping, man. Yeah, it really was. So
it was nasty.
Yeah,
he's evolved so much as a shooter since he's come to Indiana.
And like it had me really thinking. Like I started to kind of regret some of my words. How I had him ranked lower amongst other power forwards in the East, and I saw something. I can't remember who it was. I hope it's not Bleacher Report because everybody knows their credibility is a little rough, but someone came out with like an overall, player rankings in the NBA. It was like a credible site, like ESPN or one of those. I think they had Siakam at like 12 in the league, and I'm like, whoa, like 12? That's all NBA.
Wow,
stats.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, I know 12. I was like, wow. I'll have to find out. They did a top rankings. Yeah, I think it was ESPN the top rankings of 100 players. The Pacers had a few of them. I'll have to double check on that, but Siakam, I think this is going to be a big year for him. And like I know everyone can make the argument, hey, he's getting older, but this is who you want to play through. And I feel like Siakam is ready for the challenge this year. He's been a leader.
Yeah, and I thought that he looked like he was wanting to shoot the ball more, like 14 points in that first half. That if you double that, that's 28. We've seen Siakam have flurries right before last season, like
9 shots in 14 minutes. I mean, that's great.
Last year in the regular season, he would do this where he would have like a massive first half, then wouldn't touch the ball in the second half.
Yep,
I think that this is where you're going to need to see more of this first half duplicated in the second half because there's a world where Siakam could average close to 25 points a game for the Pacers this year. They move. I'm just saying they move the ball a lot. And if he's going to be shooting a lot of shots, like if he's getting 25 points on 17, 18 shots or 16, 17 shots, like the shots are going to be there. The volume's going to be there with no Tyrese and no Miles. Okay. Like that's what people have to realize. Like, and it's like, if Siakam is shooting as well as he has been of late, like that's a good thing. You want him to shoot more. It's like if you've got, 100 shots to go around or however many shots they take in a game, usually on average, if he's taking like 20% of them or more, like that's what you want versus Joe Schmo shooting the basketball. So I'm just saying, like, you want your best players to shoot the ball more.
I definitely agree. And he was on pace so he had 9 shot attempts in 14 minutes. So last year he averaged like 32.7 minutes to be exact. So you can make an argument that he was on pace to shoot like 20 times.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the type of Siakam, like we said before, like you could live with that. And that's just kind of not who he's been. Like he had one season in Toronto where he averaged, actually 2 seasons where he averaged over 18 shots per night. But Siakam last year, 15.2 shot attempts. That's not enough. It's not enough. We need to see him go from 15.2 to 17 and a half, maybe 18. Like, can you get 2.5 to 3 more shots per game? I think the Pacers would really benefit if you can.
Yeah, or more free throws. I mean, one way or the other to get more points because he just is that impactful of a player and scorer for this team. And yeah, that's what they're going to need. So let's close it out here with the first 5. Isaiah Jackson, would you say stock up or stock down? I think this is our first stock down.
It's stock down. You can't even give him the benefit of the doubt of stock in the middle. Look, the only benefit of the doubt I can say is, hey, look, I'm happy he's on the court. Happy he's on the court, coming off of the injury, but like it looked like he had, you don't want to say not regressed, but like he went back to the old ways of the quick fouls early on, and like that would be detrimental to the Pacers if he's supposed to be your starting center and he's picking up 2 to 3 fouls in the first 3 to 5 minutes of the game. I mean, this scenario, it was 3 fouls in under 3 minutes. So that's really tough. Obviously, he didn't have that opportunity to really get back in the game and play a lot more and maybe whatever, get his numbers up or make a bigger impact, but it's definitely stock down.
Okay, so I will just say this: when it's got to be stock down for me, because when the 4-string center comes in after you and has a +9 with that unit, you couldn't do anything with, really.
True.
That to me is okay. That's a little problematic. Not saying it's like a large sample size; it's incredibly small. So I'm just saying like small sample size theater here. We'll see what he does the next 3 games. Can he get a little bit more comfortable? I'll give him that. But as of right now, I'm going to say stock down. And after the preseason's over, we can reevaluate all of these players and say stock up, stock down, stock in the middle, or maybe we can wait till next month to do it after we see a little bit more play. But I feel like he's got to be a stock down. So let's go ahead and take a quick break and get into our next group of 5. All right, we are back, and we're going to be talking about the second unit now that played that first hockey sub that we saw there, Facci. We'll start with TJ McConnell. Stock up or stock down or stock in the middle? This is a tough one.
This is probably the toughest one because he got hurt, but I feel like for McConnell in his time that he did play, he did look good. So I guess we could just say stock up because everything else was out of his hands. He had 7 points, 3 of 3 shooting, 3 assists, a steal, no turnovers. It felt to me like, hey, look, this is TJ McConnell. But obviously the hamstring injury is worrisome, but that's not something that he necessarily did. More that's something that just happened to him.
Yeah, I will say like the way you can say it's stock up, even if he's out with an injury for the rest of the preseason. How bad this team looked when he wasn't on the floor.
I mean, it's a fair point.
He clearly is the leader of that second unit. So I'm going to give him a stock up, even though I would probably lean more stock in the middle than stock up if I had to pick between the two. Like if I was like pulled one way or the other. But I'll give him stock up just because like Delon Wright, RayJ Dennis, Quenton Jackson. Like I don't trust any of those players to be every single night backup point guard to your starting point guard who is still like trying to prove he can be a starter. Like that's the other thing with Andrew Nembhard, still trying to prove that he can lead a team as a starting point guard this season. I think he can. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying like you just haven't seen a sample size of where he's been able to run a team and lead a team to the promised land. So that's that. You want to keep it moving? Or are you ready to talk?
Yeah, just one quick thing on that is I just feel like I gained a new appreciation, and I had appreciation for McConnell, but that appreciation where in the NBA Finals, Game 7, as bad as things were, like he was the only guy that had it going in that third quarter, and I just feel like that was like him willing to like, no guys, like this is the championship, we have to push forward like this, and like he scored like it was like 13 points or whatever it was in that third quarter. And I just felt like, man, this is a guy that just anytime he's on the court, you're getting everything that he's got. And in this situation, it was rough that it came with an injury, but I'm just like, man, TJ McConnell is going to be so important this season. Like if something happened to McConnell, knock on wood, it would be like there would be a big impact on this team because like they're not ready to fully hand the keys to Nembhard without a Haliburton or a McConnell there. Like there's going to be times where he might just be like, man, this is just a newer situation for me and I'm struggling a little bit, and like McConnell could bail us out. So I really hope that everything's all right with TJ McConnell.
Okay, let's keep it moving. Johnny Furphy, stock up or stock down or stock in the middle?
I'll probably maybe a stock in the middle. I'd say stock in the middle. And here's the thing. You could make an argument to say, well, of course, based off of the summer league and everything like that, his stock is on the way up, but I think you made a great point the other day. Like when it came to more meaningful first half minutes, he didn't look that great. He did look really good in that third quarter against second and third stringers, from Minnesota. And I love the, emphatic dunk that he had. Like I thought that was awesome. But I think overall, I'm not going to say stock down by any means. I think he's on the way up. But we want to see some things a little bit better. He did have 4 turnovers in the game, which led all Pacer players.
His aura is up. But
it's definitely up. It's definitely up.
It might be the highest of anybody on the team.
I think so.
It's hard to say that his stock is in the middle, but it is. It is in the middle. I mean, he's not doing enough to me to say to Rick Carlisle, all right, I should be playing over Ben Sheppard.
Exactly.
He's not doing that. I will say he's playing harder than Jarace Walker at times. So but it's kind of like, I think honestly, like the more I think about it, it's going to be more of like, who plays more between Jarace and Johnny than it is between Ben Sheppard and those two? Like as much as I hate to say that, I can see that being the case because with Sheppard, you never have to worry about his fours. So I'll just say stock in the middle for Johnny Furphy and moving over to Jarace Walker. I will say stock down after that first game. I know he had a positive plus minus, I think, in the game.
He did +6.
The eye test for me just screamed like, this is not what I want to see from you in year 3. You know, like this is a great opportunity for you to prove yourself, and this is what you're showing me in the first game. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. It's one game. It's your first time back from an injury. Okay, let's see what you can do the rest of the preseason. But after that showing, I didn't walk away feeling great about where, year 3 is going to be heading for Jarace Walker. I kind of felt like, oh man, is it going to be this inconsistent again for the level of force? That's problematic to me, especially knowing how much Rick Carlisle depends on guys playing with force for playing time.
So to put things in perspective for Jarace Walker, and I'll say stock down as well, just because I can't say stock up. Look at Jarace Walker's stats and for the box score: 13 points, 5 boards, 5 of 12 shooting, +6. Well, on paper, that looks pretty good. But there's more to it. In the first half, when he played with other more meaningful players or anything of the sort, he was a -9.
Yeah,
he's a -9 in the first half when the Pacers were up, pretty big. They were up like 8 at halftime or 9 at halftime, but whatever it was. They were up 8 at halftime, and he was a -9. So a lot of like his, positive plus minus came in that third quarter when the Pacers went on a really big run against all of Minnesota's backups. So for Jarace, like I mentioned last episode, I highlighted him. He did D up when it mattered most, when the game was on the line, but it's not always going to come down to just one possession. Sometimes it's like, hey, you got to be able to do it consistently all game. So he was someone that in this game, he played 24 minutes. It was the second most of any Pacer player, and he probably could have dominated a little bit more. But I felt like we left with a little bit more to be desired for a player that needs to have a big year going into year 3.
Okay, Obi Toppin, stock up or stock down?
Or stock down? I like for Obi, I just feel like he played 10 minutes. It's really hard for me to give like a stock up. I would just say like you could just say stock in the middle of like, he had 2 steals, he had 2 assists, he had 2 boards, he hit a 3, you're going to get that out of him. But I wasn't wowed, but I also in 10 minutes I wasn't like let down.
I did not like his minutes without McConnell, but his minutes with McConnell I really enjoyed, and I thought, oh, stock up for me. Like he's looking like he's pretty like comfortable out there, doing some things with the ball a little bit more. I thought he was really good in the fan jam with TJ McConnell. I think he was 6 of 9 from the field for 14 points in just a matter of 7 minutes and 59 seconds. So it's like in 8 minutes he did all of that. Like I just feel like he's more comfortable in his role, and I think with a bigger opportunity, it's going to continue going. So I'm going to say stock up for Obi just because I liked how he played, and then I'm going to continue with my stock up giving out and go to Jay Huff. And I think that overall, while I brought up some concerns or some things that I noticed in the first game on the last episode, I still think overall like we got a pretty positive showing from Jay Huff, even though there is still a lot to be desired there. I'll give him a stock up just because I feel like he outplayed the starter that was above him.
Yeah, no, he definitely did. And yeah, we're all rooting for Jay Huff, and we want those like, oh my God, like, he hit a couple blocks, and I definitely got more up and animated for some of those than for other players on this team. But he did have 2 blocks. I feel like that's a real quality of his that like we're going to have. Like he's going to be a good shot blocker. We didn't get to see the 3-point shooting tonight, just 0 of 1 from the field, but from 3. But he's 3 or 4 overall. I think the best of Jay Huff is yet to come, but I'm still going to say stock up because we did have concerns about, Isaiah Jackson, and we'll get to James Wiseman, and Tony Bradley only played a couple of minutes. I felt like there was enough with Jay Huff to say, all right, give this guy time with this group and the starters. He's going to be good.
All right, so that's our first 10 that we're going to discuss today. To kind of wrap it up here, we're going to do a little rapid fire here at the end here, Facci. Instead of talking about each of these players, I want to go through the rest of the roster. I just mentioned him. He didn't actually play in this game, but Ben Sheppard, stock up or stock down after the first preseason game. I would say it's a stock up for him because I think that there's guys that are probably in that same position that have not done enough after the first preseason game to take away his minutes.
I think it's a fair argument, and I'm fine with it. Just because, like, I think we talked about for Johnny Furphy, like, he didn't do enough to say Ben Sheppard who. Like, I felt like it was like, okay, we want to see Ben Sheppard now and be like, all right, let's see what you got. Because if he comes out and he's not playing too well, then all of a sudden now you might say, hey, you know what, you might want to scale back some of those minutes a little bit. Now we don't want to just judge it off of one preseason game, but like this is a big year for for Ben Sheppard, and I feel like we want to see him take those steps forward. And I think through 2 years, we know what he can bring defensively. Offensively, we still have a lot that's left to be desired.
All right, we're just going to go quick here. You tell me stock up or stock down. I'll say the player's name, and I'll follow with my answer. James Wiseman.
Stock down. Stock down.
I would agree. Stock down, but I hate that it's like that. Tony Bradley.
So, I mean, they stock up. Hey, look, just a couple minutes, but the guy didn't do anything to say get him off this roster.
All right, Delon Wright.
Ugh, stock down.
Stock way down.
It's unfortunate. It really is. I hope he's all right, but like, man, it's just didn't work out tonight.
It's hard for you just to say stock up or stock down.
It really is. I'm a wordy guy. Look, I even held back on James Wiseman. It was tough just saying stock down,
though, too.
But it's all right. But yeah, anyway, who else we got?
Okay, we got Quenton Jackson.
Stock up. Stock up.
Stock up. All right. Taelon Peter.
Oh, one of the biggest stock ups. Honestly, I'm a fan. I've been bit by the Taelon Peter bug, man. I'm telling you, I'm infected right now, and I want me some more Taelon Peter.
I liked him. Stock up. Let's see, RayJ Dennis. Stock in the middle.
Yeah, stock in the middle. Stock in the middle. He's just too inconsistent. Like it's just I wouldn't be surprised if next game he just comes out there and he looks really rough. But
we saw that in Summer League, actually.
We did, though. He had 20 points. The next game, he was like 1 of 11. So I just can't get that out of my head. And when I think of RayJ Dennis, I just think of inconsistent.
Okay, let's see here. Jaylen Slawson.
I'm going to say stock up. That man could shoot. What? Yeah. Dude, he had a moment where he started probably pretty rough. I think he was like 0 for 3 from 3.
He was terrible.
Yeah, but I think he hit his last 3 threes of the game.
He was on fire at the end.
He was on fire, and if he started missing any of those threes, we lose. So, like, I just feel like he caught fire at the right time. Like, he's such a long shot of an NBA player, but, like, we needed the threes when he was hitting them.
I was just not a fan. I was like, I don't want to watch him play basketball.
It was a whole lot of Slawson. It really was. Like in that fourth quarter and overtime,
not a slaw guy.
It was a healthy serving of Jaylen Slawson. I'm telling you that.
Okay, Gabe McGlothan.
I mean, what are we doing here? It's just I can't do this. It's
stock down.
No, stock down. I mean, it's just there's no stock. They're not selling it.
All right, last one here. Kam Jones did not play. Stock down.
It's stock down. I just feel like I
hate this back injury.
I know. I just feel like this is such vital time to be out there. Like now, like all of a sudden, like look at how excited we are. Taelon Peter. Oh my God. Wow. It's like I would love to have that about Kam Jones. Like this is the guy. This is your first round, whatever. Not first round pick, but like an early second round pick. He was your first draft pick of this draft, and I just feel like we might not even, probably won't even get to see him in preseason, and Summer League was very up and down.
Yeah, out 2 to 3 weeks, so we will not see him in preseason, which is a bummer, and especially with a guy like Delon Wright going down and TJ McConnell, like this is an opportunity where he could play some point, and you don't get to see that, so that's a bummer. And then I'll just say lastly, since Tyrese Haliburton was traveling with the team, I'm going to give him a stock up only because I was enjoying his animation during the game. Like, he was like, calling the offensive foul with the referee when Rudy Gobert got called for one. And then I believe they're at the end because there's some Minnesota fans sitting right by the Pacers bench. He was talking crap. Maybe not talking crap, but he was just talking. Because Tyrese loves to talk to a guy in a Minnesota jersey there right by the head athletic director for the Pacers, Josh Corbeil. And I thought it was funny because the guy was laughing pretty hard. And it was close to overtime. I think it was when the Pacers challenged if that ball went out of bounds on them or not. So that was the one that they won. So I was just like, why are we challenging right now? This sucks. But then at the end of the day, I was like, we got to see Tyrese Haliburton interacting with fans from the opposing team, like just playing the heel role, even though he's not in the game. And I love it.
I love it too, because I remember when that injury first happened, it was like Tyrese probably won't travel with the team too much on like away games. And then you see him there game 1 preseason. And you know what? I don't know how many he'll go to or this or that, but that man's a basketball junkie. He wants to be around the game, around his teammates. And I feel like it's just a great sign to see him preseason, game 1 in Minnesota. It just makes me feel like, hey, he's a big part of this group and wants to stay as involved as possible. And I'm sure he misses the game. And I just feel like overall, yeah, hey, just we missed Tyrese. Like seeing him not out there, it was missing. That was that missing factor of just like, where was the alley-oops? You know, like where's it going to be? Like anything could happen. You didn't see someone pull up from like super deep or anything of the sort. Like those are the things that just makes Pacer basketball so much more fun. So it's going to take a little bit of time watching this team without him to really even then appreciate him that much more.
I agree. It just stinks that he's not out there. And I saw Caitlin Cooper's tweet that I believe it was her nephew, was watching the game with her, and he said it's going to be a really long or sad season without Tyrese. And it's just like, yeah, it is. It is going to be sad. So just one of those things though, where I'm excited though about seeing these young guys get an opportunity and see what they can do, prove some people wrong. So with that being said, that is Stock Up, Stock Down. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, please let us know what you think we got wrong or what you think you would do differently for the Stock Up, Stock Down or Stock in the Middle. And if you haven't already, please hit a thumbs up on the YouTube videos and subscribe to the channel. If you're not on the YouTube side of things and you only listen on audio, please leave us a 5-star rating and review. You can follow _FACCI on all social media platforms. I'm at Alex Golden NBA, and our podcast is at Pacers Pod, STP, and Facci. If you're hoping the Pacers get another preseason win on Saturday against the Oklahoma City Thunder, then hit me with those 3 words.
Let's go Pacers.